Okay, so um, I did record this first part, and I've had to start completely again, which is not a problem at all. There's a lot of activity going on in my house, so if it carries on, I'm just going to ignore it, okay? They've been told off, but tell you what, spirits are little buggers, especially when they want to wake children up. Honestly, spirits remind me a little bit of like puppies, you know, when they're like, play, play, let's play, let's play, let's play. It's like that, but it sounds awful. It sounds really scary at the time, but I know it's just like a playful thing. Anyway, so at the bottom of the deck was Justice, right? So we're going from the solar eclipse reading from yesterday. I've got a fly staring me in the face. Hold on a minute. Flies are the devil's spies. I'm telling you, sorry. I can't stand them. I had to get rid of it. Right. So we are going from last night's reading, based around the solar eclipse and the new moon in Leo. So it was all about releasing old patterns, especially like old thought processes. So like say things get hard, or something significant happens, whether it be good or bad, you are releasing this chaotic mentality that you might have when you go into, like, say, a panic, right? And it's kind of like, you know, when you have to forgive me, my gran's here, and I always know when she's here because she died from lung cancer. And whenever I open myself up completely, because that's how I personally operate, sometimes she comes through and it really affects my voice. It's almost like, you know, when you're trying to cough but you can't get rid of whatever it is. It's like that. But there's actually nothing. You know how normally you can feel something? There isn't anything. But yeah, sorry, distracted. Right, so you are releasing thought processes, right? It's all about mentality. It's nothing physical. You know, I feel like one thing I didn't say last night, and I wish I did, is that I feel like you have been going through so much, and so many sort of big changes are coming in, and not just in our lives, but the people around us as well. You know, we often think about our own stuff and how it makes us feel, but also the people around us. It's just as awful watching them go through stuff as well. Look how pretty the sun's coming up. It's really like glowy, instead of it being just like it's actually glowing, which is okay. So on the bottom of the deck was Justice, followed by the Fool, and followed by the Ten of Cups. How beautiful is that? You know, I feel like just through the night, a lot of energetical justice has been happening. So, you know, if you have been going through a bit of a like dark night of the soul, I like to call it that because I think it's very, 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 very fitting, right? Now, to be able to come to this Ten of Cups at the beginning, you know, anybody that knows tarot will understand this, but this is like an end goal point normally. So to start it off, it just goes to show that, you know, nothing that you do goes unnoticed ever. And it might feel like that, and it might feel like we're stagnant and nothing's going anywhere, and anything we're trying, it's not working, right? It's not that. It's we have to get to goal points, right? This is how I perceive it. It's like moving from goalpost to goalpost, and it's not until you get to certain goal points that other things start to sort of like bloom. Then I saw like in a garden with all like these different coloured flowers and stuff. Very beautiful visualization. I wish I could show you, but your Justice is starting everything all over again. which, you know, might not sound much to some, but when you have gone through hell and back, I feel like you could be a parent. Now, you know, we all know how hard that can be. You could be a single parent. Again, and at the bottom of the deck now, we've got the Nine of Swords. So this cropped up yesterday, and it cropped up at the bottom of the deck as well. So in the more shadow side of this collective is that actually you're riddled with anxiety, which, to be fair, there is absolutely no point in putting pressure on yourself and saying, oh no, I'm just going to stop my anxiety now, because we all know that that's not how it works, right? But actually, when you experience something and you allow it to sort of unravel naturally, and you're not putting any sort of foot on the ignition, you find that the anxiety then dampens as the time goes on. Now, one thing that came through quite strong was the autumn equinox. Now, it could go into the winter solstice. It just depends. Everybody's journey is completely different to the other. So to start off like that, I think is really, really, really positive. Okay, Four of Pentacles, Temperance. I'm using my witchy cards again because I feel like they're very relevant. Page of Swords. It's like, patience, child. You will get that message. It's that kind of energy. The Tower. Get one more, please. Oh! The Sun. And the Ace of Swords. The Nine of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Right. Wowza. And we've got Leo the Lion again at the bottom. Strength. So this is, I will say that this specific information is going to be throughout Leo season. I don't know how long we've got of Leo season left. But I feel like this is something that has just sort of maybe started, and it's going to sort of, again, unravel itself. Right, so now, starting with these, when I looked at these two, right, the Page of Swords and the Tower, it was almost like having that great message of change, or the message of great change. I said that the wrong way round. So it could be that you end up receiving, I can see a letter, don't know why, looks quite official. So it could be that actually you have been going through something at the moment. It's a bit ironic that I said about being a parent. Actually, it, you know, this could be surrounding that. You could be waiting on some sort of news to do with those changes. If that is the case, then with the Sun coming, like following on from that, it's whatever it is for the small few of you that I will be going on about with this. I can't get my words out. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Well, you might feel like that at the moment. You might feel very overwhelmed, and it's almost like you can't get your words out properly and string sentences together. But don't worry, I'm like that on a daily basis. So, you know, it's fine. But also with Justice, especially if you are fighting for something, it doesn't have to be children, it could be anything. But, you know, having justice for the whatever this Tower has been or will be, you will receive some sort of message to do with that. And I do feel like you, one, with the High Priestess, I think you know anyway, and I think you know everything's going to be fine. But I think that considering you have been sorting out upstairs, oh, I'm going to have to go to another part, go to the next part.